My name is Alexander Denysenko and I'm film director. I was born and started filming in Ukraine and shaped professionally in Poland, working under the tutelage of Oscar winner Andrzej Wajda. My greatest passion is to tell stories that touch hearts, awaken vision, and change the way we interact with the world.
Hello, my name is Aico Tan, and I am a Chinese filmmaker. And currently, I'm studying in the Łódź Film School in Poland.
My name is Fleur Howle, and I'm from United Kingdom. And I presented a film about Prophet Muhammad's first wife, KHADIJA, or Hadija, if you want to be Arabic or English.
Before the Dawn is allegorical story about choosing life, even everything seems lost. It's based on traditional Ukrainian folk song. The sun is setting low, uh, which is a song of grief. We reimagine it as a manifesto of hope about the Ukraine that no longer wants to be seen only as a victim. It is a film about the people of Ukraine growing up, an inner revolution happening inside every Ukrainian.
My film is about a woman who are facing the danger coming from her marriage life, and it's also about how she trying to survive through these dangers.
And she's the most extraordinary woman who was the first Islam. She had been married twice before, had children in both of those marriages, but widowed. She was an extremely successful businesswoman, and she'd be like a top CEO in this day and age.
In general, I have been focused on the topic of the domestic violence about women. So I have going through a lot of news about it, and every time when I read the news, I would always think that, my God, it's definitely be so difficult to be her, whether trying to escape from the relationship or trying to deal with their own life. And but also in the same time, I would see in the comments people would question like, okay, why she don't leave, or like why she stay.
The idea came from the music. When I first heard Yulia Donchenko voice singing this song, I felt something that was more than just a melody. I felt the living soul of past of Ukraine. Her pain, her dignity, her gentle but unbreakable strength. For a generation, it was a song about loss and sacrifice, the part of Ukrainian cultural DNA. And I felt it was the time to give it a different ending, one of transformation, of choosing light over darkness. It is a vision of how we see Ukraine today.
A while ago, I put on a play at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival called Fundamentalists, and it was about Christian and Islamic fundamentalism. And even though I have been to several very interesting Muslim countries like Iran and Uzbekistan and Jordan, I kind of gone to look at the 12th century architecture, and I hadn't known very much about the beginning of Islam. And I sort of stumbled across her as I did my research. So it's been just a long, kind of quite a long journey, because I'm now writing a whole book. I got a publishing deal and in discussion about turning it into a feature. But I thought it would make a really very beautiful short film. It wasn't specifically long. It was much more like any film. The storyboarding was essential, you know, that we really went very clearly, because sometimes, again, through communication, there was too much emphasis being paid on something that I was just like, that's not so important, and we need to cut back from that.
So I had around 6 months of writing the script, like pre-production and shooting day for 4 days in 8 hours, so 32 hours of shooting. And then editing, I edited this film quite long, I edited 6 months entirely, not every day, but like pause and editing for 6 months.
The entire process took over the year. A 6-minute film contains 23 scenes shot in 15 historical locations across Western Ukraine. It spans 3 different eras, the 17th, 19th, and 21st century, which required full costume and set reconstruction, stunt work with horses, and underwater shots. Every frame had to ring through, not just technically, but emotionally. Nothing in film is random, everything carries meaning.
At the beginning or in the middle of the time of doing this film, I named this film differently. I named it Exit. Figure out myself. The only reason I named this Exit is because I was spending a lot of like energy trying to find the exit sign that I used in the film. But however, unfortunately, this exit sign in the film is not obvious at all. But I only named it because it's so hard for me to find that sign, and it's so much memory for me that so I named it that way. And after like 1 month, I figured out, oh, it totally makes no sense.
So even though we had a Russian translator, it would appear the young lady, because I'm quite a mature lady, who is her agent, kind of wanted to be a producer. And she sort of wanted my script and then didn't want to talk to me. And I said, well, it's a little bit tricky because I am the writer, the director, the producer, and I've done all this research. I'm not too sure how you're going to do my job because it's a little bit, because it's also something that is such a sensitive subject. You have got to know your stuff.
Actually, the film was shot in wartime reality. The night before one of the most important scenes, Russia launched missile attack on Lviv. Actors slept in bomb shelter. The next morning, we filmed a tender love scene. You need extraordinary inner strength to be able to create something gentle in such a violent context. But that's what Ukrainian art does now. It holds light even in the darkest hour. Our lead actors, Kamila Orzędowska and Stanisław Linowski, are from Poland, and they came to Ukraine knowingly. It was more than just an acting job. It was a gesture of solidarity. Kamila became the face of our story. Though she's Polish, her character represents Ukraine, with all its sorrow, tenderness, and resilience. Stanisław's character lives on the edge, just like Ukraine today, standing between the past and the future, between night and dawn. And that's the beauty. When international actors embody Ukrainian fates, they became a part of our truth, the part of our struggle.
So when you have these sort of kind of the chicken, the egg situation of me going, well, I can't find anything on the internet. You know, I'm going through, music libraries and everything else. I do need original composition. But so I worked initially with one composer and it wasn't for her. She said, I just can't work like that. And that's absolutely fair enough. And then I worked with this guy, William, and he was a bit like, no, I think I can do it. Even if I just start doing something quite generic, I can give her something and then I can come back and work on the music again, which was it was great of him to do that.
I learned again that culture is not a luxury, it's a necessity. When everything else collapses, culture is what helps people survive. Even short film can heal. It can help us to accept who we are, our pain, our strength, our journey. Through one heroine's allegorical path, we can explain to the world why Ukraine chooses to fight. This film is dedicated to defenders of Ukraine because as long as they hold the sky, we hold the meaning. We create because they protect.
Like the biggest one would be like making film is so hard. There are so much decision I have to make, and all the decisions have like impacts on the film. We stick in only one lenses too much. So basically the whole film is master shot. So I don't have like opportunity to edit in more detail or emphasize some details, let's say. I'm not sure that's a like entirely wrong decision or good decision, but anyway, I didn't got the choice, and also I didn't have the time.
No, I feel really flattered, I've got to be honest. It's in particular because I want to take this to another stage of making a feature film. I'm already having those conversations. And I think when you've got a visual style that is really quite unique, is if you can see that I've managed to do it in a short form, and people are going, this is beautiful, and I'm engaged by it, that can only but really be very fortunate for you know, which I'm sure you're aware of, being an independent filmmaker is very, very tough. It's not the easiest thing to be. So yeah, I'm really flattered and looking forward to it very much.
Yeah, I feel honored very much. But instead of I feel myself as a competitor, I think I'm more excited about being an audience this time. That I'm really interested to go there and to watch other people's film, and especially there are so much people from outside of Europe or from different country in Europe. And it's gonna be interesting for me to have the opportunity to see their film.
It is an honor and responsibility. It is more than just a festival. It is a gathering of free voices from across the Europe and across the world. For us, it is a chance to be heard. We're not just bringing a film, we're bringing a country that still creates under fire. This isn't competition in usual sense, it is a dialogue. And I'm grateful to be part of it, because what speaks louder in the world today than a free voice? And independent cinema preserves that voice, raw, honest, and vital.